Dear friends, students, welcome to the IAS Mentor. You are watching the mains answer writing series, and as a part of this series, the objective is to help the students preparing for the UPSC examination how to approach the mains questions, how to structure the mains questions, to what extent we'll have to discuss about certain things in a particular question. Does it requires a deeper approach or a broader approach? How to identify the keywords in the questions, and of course what are the directives that is given in the questions, and according to the directives how to approach the questions. So this is what is the objective of this particular series. The objective is not mainly to deliver the content, but to discuss and to give broadly the ideas on the areas that I have discussed right now. But in the process we'll also discuss some content, because without certain content I'm not in a position to discuss that particular question. So this is definitely going to be useful, and I've already said one of the most important skill required to clear the mains examination or to clear the civil service examination is the answer writing. And in the process we'll discuss questions from all the papers: GS paper 1, paper 2, paper 3 and paper 4. I've just started with GS paper 2. In the last few episodes I've discussed questions from the polity part. So today I'm going to discuss from the governance part. And in the future I'll discuss the questions from the other areas as well. Okay, all right. So please come into the question very quickly without taking much time. The Citizen Charter has been a landmark initiative in ensuring citizen-centric administration, but it is yet to reach its full potential. Identify the factors hindering the realization of its promise and suggest measures to overcome them. So the question is very, very clear. So the question, the central theme is the Citizen Charter. That's the central theme. That is quite clear. The question is about Citizen Charter. The question is not only about Citizen Charter. The question itself is saying that the Citizen Charter is a very important initiative to bring what is called a citizen-centric administration. This is the statement. But the question is about, despite the fact that the Citizen Charter has been brought in, it is yet to reach its potential. Identify the factors hindering the Citizen Charter from realizing its potential and also suggest measures to overcome this. So these are the two important things. So probably these three things has to be in your answer. The examiner should know that you know what is Citizen Charter. That has to be there in your answer. The second thing is, what are the factors that is hindering the effectiveness of Citizen Charter, and what could be the possible remedial measures, or what could be the possible suggestions or recommendations to overcome this particular issue. That is the third important area that has to be there in your answer. The moment you give points for these three areas, I think almost this answer is done. And then you can touch up an introduction, and then you can probably give a conclusion. So that is the thing that has to be there in this answer. So without wasting much time, you can directly go as to how you can introduce. There are two ways of introducing this particular specific question. One is you can define as to what is a Citizen Charter if you're not aware of the context of the Citizen Charter. But if you're aware of the context of the Citizen Charter, you can start with the context also. Say for example, the Citizen Charter initiative was started in 1997 in India with an objective of making the governance more transparent, more efficient, accountable, in line with the idea of what is called as good governance, because that is the time we also started talking about, a little later we also started about what is called as good governance. So therefore you can say that this is the context in which this is brought in 1997, which is presently under the administrative control of Ministry of Personnel and Training, or Department of Administrative Reforms within Ministry of Personnel and Training. That could be a context if you are aware of the context. If you are not aware of the context, you can directly define as to what is a Citizen Charter. Now what is a Citizen Charter? Citizen Charter is basically a written commitment from the public delivery organizations or from the public service organizations as to make the service delivery more transparent, accountable, which also includes set of details like the kind of service that is delivered, what is the time limit within which the service has to be delivered, what are the grievance redressal mechanisms, etc. So these are all the written commitment that is part of what is called as a Citizen Charter. Either you start with a context or you define what is a Citizen Charter. So context would be better in my opinion. If you are starting with what is a context rather than what is defining what is a Citizen Charter, if context, then when you come to your body part, the first thing that you have to do is you will have to define again what is a Citizen Charter, a brief explanation as to what is a Citizen Charter, because that's very, very important, because the entire question is about Citizen Charter. Sometimes the students start writing as to what are the problems associated with citizen charter even without explaining or defining what is a citizen charter. That is must. Either you do it in your introduction, or if you are giving the context in your introduction, write briefly 2-3 lines, define the citizen charter. You can give examples. Say for example, if you see the Ministry of External Affairs, today as per them, the visa has to be issued as per the project uh, visa. So the government issues visa, and as per the ministry official website in their citizen charter, it gives whenever the visa, sorry, not the visa, sorry, passport. Whenever the passport is applied, the delivery time is 30 days. So it is again part of the citizen charter, which puts in a time bound service delivery. So you can give that example. If you are cancelling your ticket in IRCTC, the time bound time to credit the money back is 7 days. So these are all time bound service delivery to the citizens. This is again part of an important objective of what is citizen charter. So therefore you can start defining citizen charter. You can give some examples also if you want 1 or 2 examples. And then the next important thing that is asked in the question is, what are the factors that is hindering the citizen charter? That is important. So what are the factors? You can give a subheading. After you define the citizen charter, you can give a subheading, factors hindering citizen charter. So you can give 4-5, you can give a side heading as to factors hindering citizen charter, and then you can give sub points under that. One, say for example, one of the biggest problems with regard to citizen charter is a top down approach. That is, the citizen charter is decided from the top without consulting the bottom. So they don't understand what is the ground realities. The second problem would be lack of awareness among the people. The citizen charters are mostly formulated in English and Hindi, but not in the regional languages. The citizen charters are not periodically reviewed, because as and when the technology changes, as and when the service delivery pattern changes, it has to be periodically updated. That is not happening. Most importantly, the citizen charter does not have any legal backing. It's only a voluntary commitment on the part of the public service delivery organizations. So write 4-5 points as to what you feel is the major obstacle in achieving the objectives of what is called a citizen charter. And then you can give suggestions also. When you talk of the suggestions, it is also very important. You can bring about certain recommendations which is given by second ARC rather than you yourself suggesting. So second ARC is a Administrative Reforms Commission appointed by the Government of India, and it has given its own recommendations regarding how to improve the citizen charter in our country. Some of the recommendations given is periodic review of citizen charter, and they have said that the citizen charter should be in the local languages, corresponding improvement in the logistics of the government organizations or the public service delivery organizations, so that they are empowered to deliver the services. It should be a bottom up approach rather than top down approach, because bottom up approach will help them to understand the ground realities. Citizen charter is not necessarily that it has to be very ambitious in nature, but it has to be practical in nature as well. So all these things can be part of the suggestions and recommendations, and then finally you can go to what is called as the conclusions. If you go to the conclusion very quickly, you can talk about the citizen charter is a wonderful idea that will help us to achieve what is called as good governance. But there's now a need to upgrade the citizen charter, and it can be upgraded in the form of what is called as a Sevotham model. The Sevotham model is actually implemented in certain other departments today, very restricted departments. So the entire citizen charter model can be upgraded to what is called as Sevotham model, that ensures the service delivery could be transparent, accountable, responsive, and more efficient, and it can lead to what is called as good governance. Therefore, you can relate this to the concept of good governance when you conclude this particular answer. This is one of the easiest question that UPSC can ask, provided that you know what is a citizen charter. Again, I am telling that this series is not with an objective of explaining what is a citizen charter, for which I will do a separate series if required. As I have done the polity series, as I am doing the international relations series, in the future I may do the governance series also. But this is just to help you how to break a question and how to write the answers, what should be the ingredients in your answer. That is what is a major objective of this particular series. All right. So tomorrow, I think in the next lecture, probably I'll come out with the topic of social justice. From the social justice, I'll pick one question and I'll discuss that as well. All right. So with that, I'm coming to the end of this particular question discussion. And in this way, we'll take up questions for the other subjects as well. All right. So thank you very much and all the very best. And of course, if you have any doubt, please reach out to me through my Instagram account or through my Telegram channel. Thank you very much.